Peace and prosperity. This is Esaia Mystic, and welcome to my free workshop where you will learn exactly how to stop giving your power away to narcissistic men and start actually attracting men that value and respect you. So, welcome and thank you for being here. This is going to be very, very crucial, essential information that I feel like so many women do not know these simple things about themselves. So, we're going to be getting into all of the things that, through my experience, I have realized in myself, mistakes I've made that has caused me to attract narcissistic men into my life. And not only attract narcissistic men, but also from my rearing and the programming of society causes me to believe things about myself and my environment that creates this narcissistic kind of dynamic in a lot of the men that we attract. And so if you want to start shifting the type of men that you attract, and you want to start calling in men that are divinely aligned with your feminine energy, with your highest self, then this workshop is definitely for you. Make sure you stick it through till the end because it's going to be very powerful, very potent. So, a little bit about me. I used to attract all kinds of men. Once I got into college, I was attracting, various kinds of men. I was dating a lot. I got into a lot of different relationships. And it was one specific relationship that ended up knocking me off of my feet and literally changing my life. The experience wasn't so great, but ultimately this experience, this relationship changed my life, made me so much wiser as a woman. It made me so much more enlightened. And that relationship was a relationship with what people know and call today a narcissist. And I want to highlight that this narcissistic type of energy that is surfacing in the world, it's literally like an uproar of narcissism. Everybody's coming into contact with a narcissism, and there's this unique relationship that the narcissist has with the empath, right? But we will find in research and studies that narcissistic qualities are most likely or dominantly portrayed in men in our society. And so when I got into a narcissistic relationship, I realized that I was doing a lot of things wrong as far as how I related to myself in a very personal and deep way. As far as relating to my feminine energy, I realized that I was doing so many things wrong and that I wasn't aware of how valuable and how beautiful my feminine energy was and how to really walk in my feminine energy while also not being afraid of the masculine and not feeling less than the masculine, not feeling like I have to live up to being equal to the masculine, which is a common dynamic that a lot of women tend to get into, especially if they have experienced abuse or neglect in relationship to masculine energy in their life. So I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse and being in a narcissistic relationship. And not only did I make it through that relationship, but I learned exactly every single energetic blueprint that caused me to create that relationship for myself. And the honest truth is, if you have been attracting narcissistic types of men or gotten into a narcissistic relationship, then it is time for you as the divine feminine to activate your priestess energy and really come out of being in your divine feminine and into being in your earth feminine. So your earth feminine is a whole nother kind of energy. It's a whole another kind of awareness. Whereas divine feminine energy is very ambiguous, and it's a general theme of what it means to be in your divine feminine. We are going to really highlight what it means to be in your earth feminine and how to activate your Venus, because this is going to activate your feminine energy in a way that keeps you on your pedestal, that keeps you in your feminine power, in your feminine sovereignty, and not subject to, the many mind games and mind loops that, men, masculine energy, and the patriarchal system and society that we're living in tends to project onto women. So I'm really excited to get into this. Make sure you grab a pen, a paper, get ready to take some notes, because this is going to be very powerful. Okay, so the first thing I want to get into is, we know that we want to stop giving our power away to narcissistic men and start attracting the men that value us and respect us. But I want to really go over, how do we even know if a man values and respects us? How can we sense that? Because in my experience, there has been a lot of men who have come into my life that very much so valued me and respected me and had that, energy of being aligned with my highest self. However, because I was holding on to energetic signatures, I could not see that these men were aligned with my higher self and were in my life to give me that respect and valuing that masculine energy is supposed to give when you're in relationship, when it's in relationship to the feminine. I was almost blind to these men. Even though they were in my life, I couldn't see them for who they were. And I was subconsciously drawn towards men that actually did not value me and did not respect me. And because of certain programming, I thought that this is what the energy of masculinity represented. It represented, to me at that time, an energy that, didn't value me and respect me. So I want to point out how to know if a man values you and respects you. Okay? And the number one thing that's going to stand out, okay, when you are coming across masculine energy that values you and respects you is, one, he's going to always show up for you. He's going to always show up for you. That means he's going to help you when you need help. If you're in a bind and you need some support, he's going to support you in whatever way he has access to. If you need or want anything, he's going to make a way to satisfy those needs and those desires. He's going to figure out how to satisfy you. Basically, your satisfaction is a priority to him. And so this is a key thing that will let you know if you're dealing with a man that values you and respects you, right? If you're dealing with a man that does not value and respect you, he's not really going to show up for you when you need him or want him around. He's not really going to see you as a priority in his life. When you voice your needs, you're not first on his list. You're like last. You're pretty much down there on the list, and you're not that important. And that is a sign that a man does not value and respect you. Okay? So number two, he puts your wants and needs before his own. So what do I mean by this? I mean, if if you want something or need something, and he's in a position where he wants something or needs something a little bit different than you, or maybe completely opposite, he will find a way to prioritize you. He will find a way to make sure that you're still getting what you need, even if that means putting his wants and needs on the back burner for a day or a week or, however long. He's going to prioritize you, and he's going to flow with your movement, and he's going to respect that about you. A lot of what we think masculine energy, or what we've been programmed to think about masculine energy, is that he's supposed to be this aggressive macho man that kind of like runs over the feminine, or puts his ego before everyone else. And this isn't the true energy of the king. This isn't the true energy of masculine energy. Masculine energy, when it is in alignment, and it is in alignment with your highest being, is going to have an open heart chakra, and he's going to want to make sure you're good, make sure your feeling state is above his own, and he's going to prioritize your wants and needs above his wants and needs. So don't think of men like this as some type of simp or pushover. Okay, men like this are the men that actually value and respect you, and they're willing to take a knee. They're willing to, save things for later so that you can experience whatever it is that you want. Okay, so that is an honorable trait of a man that values and respects you, and not just you, but women in general, people in general. So number 3, a man values and respects you if he honors your intelligence, even if it's going against his ego. So I know that at some point you've all probably experienced a man letting his ego, get the best of him, to the point where he can't respect your intelligence, or he really doesn't want to respect your intelligence, because it goes against whatever his ego is saying is true or not. And when you come across a man who is willing to listen to you, who is willing to put his ego to the side to hear what you have to say, even if it doesn't match up with his idea of how things are, or his belief systems, if he's listening to you and he's actually taking it in and merging that information with himself, he's respectful of your intelligence, and he actually values your mind. And this is really, really important. You want to make sure you recognize when a man is valuing your mind and valuing what you're saying, what you're thinking. You don't want a man who, we've been also programmed to believe that men are, tyrants. This is the distorted aspect of the father, where they're tyrants and they basically force whatever they think or they believe to be the best way. And that is not, you're not dealing with a man who values and respects you. You're dealing with a man who is still dealing with some narcissistic energy and ego issues. So these are the 3 things, okay, that lets you know if a man values and respects you. He's always going to prioritize you. He's always going to put your needs and wants before his own, and he's always going to honor your intelligence and respect what it is that you have going on in your mind. That's what I wanted you guys to know. before we get into how to stop giving your power away to narcissistic men.